makes it safe for firefighters to access your home. Embers from nearby wildfires can catch small things around your house on fire, like cardboard, gardening materials, and even some plants. You can help save your home by keeping the area around it free of stored materials and by incorporating fire-resistive landscaping. This keeps your house looking nice at the same time. If you need help creating a defensible space or have questions about fire safety, we can help. The Department of Natural Resources offers grants, information, and support so that we can all be partners in fire preparedness. Visit the Wildfire Ready Neighbors website to learn more.
ready.
Oh, I gotta switch the TV. That's my fault.
Okay. Good afternoon. I am going to call to order the Pierce County Council. Today is April 22nd, 2025. Happy Earth Day. It is 3:01. If the clerk could please call the roll.
Councilmember Yambe,
I am here.
Councilmember Kruger,
Here.
Councilmember Denson,
Here.
Councilmember Herrera,
Here.
Councilmember Morel,
Present.
Councilmember Ayala,
Here.
Councilmember Hitchin.
Here.
You have 7 members present.
With 7 members present, we do have a quorum. That brings us to our Pledge of Allegiance and other items here. So today's moment of silence after our Pledge of Allegiance will be in honor of Pope Francis and Washington State Senator Bill Ramos, representing the 5th Legislative District. We are going to have the Pledge of Allegiance led by Vice Chair Herrera, followed by a moment of silence, and then we will participate in our land acknowledgement. So if you could please stand, the flags are behind us. And Vice Chair Herrera.
Aye.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We acknowledge that we are on the traditional homelands of the Coast Salish tribes. Coast Salish people have lived on and stewarded these lands since time immemorial and continue to do so today. We recognize that this land acknowledgement is one small step towards true allyship, and we are committed to uplifting the voices, experiences, and histories of the indigenous people of this land.
Thank you. We are now at section 4 of our agenda for this afternoon. Are there any objections to our agenda as presented? Seeing none, we will consider our regular agenda approved. On today's council agenda, there will be multiple opportunities for public comment. On the consent agenda, you may provide comment on any final action item. This does not include anything that's on there for scheduling. On today's consent agenda, there are 2 items, 2 sets of minutes, 2 resolutions for final actions, and 4 grant authorizations. During sections 8 and 9 of our agenda, we will take public comment on each ordinance and resolution individually. And finally, under community forum, there'll be an opportunity for the public to address the council on any topic that was not up for final action this afternoon. We are now to section 5, which is our consent agenda. I feel like we're missing a number there. Does any member have a wish to pull an item off the consent agenda? We're looking to see if anyone is here from any of our appointments, and I'm not seeing anyone. So Vice Chair Herrera for a motion.
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the consent agenda as presented. We are going to open this up for a public hearing. So if anyone would like to address the council on the consent agenda only, please come to the podium. I'm not seeing any members of the public here, so we will go online to our Zoom room. Mr. Dominique.
For any member of the public that would like to provide comment on today's consent agenda, the final actions on today's consent agenda, please press the raise hand icon in Zoom or *9 on your telephone keypad. There are no hands at this time, ma'am.
Seeing no hands raised, we'll close public comment on the consent agenda and bring it back before the council. Is there any further comments? Seeing none, like to ask the clerk to call the roll on the consent agenda.
Councilmember Morel,
Aye.
Councilmember Jensen,
Aye.
Councilmember Herrera,
Aye.
Councilmember Cruver, Councilmember Ayala, Councilmember Yambe, Councilmember Hitchin.
Aye.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
With 7 ayes and 0 nays, the consent agenda is adopted. Thank you. Section 6 is messages from the executive judges and prosecuting attorney. There are none this afternoon. Our Section 7 is proclamations, recognitions, and awards. And today we have a proclamation from the Pierce County Council and Executive designating April 26th, 2025 as Domestic Violence Day in Pierce County, Washington. And we're going to invite Craig Roberts, our director of the Crystal Judson Family Justice Center, and then everybody that's here to support him and work with all the hard work that happens there, to come up and be present while Councilmember Yambe, our newest member of our board, reads this into the record.
Thank you, Madam Chair. A proclamation of the Pierce County Council and Executive designating April 26, 2025 as Domestic Violence Awareness Day in Pierce County, Washington. Whereas domestic violence is a pervasive issue that affects individuals and families across Pierce County, Washington, irrespective of age, gender, ethnicity, sexual orientation, socioeconomic status, or religion, and whereas the impact of domestic violence extends beyond physical harm, encompassing emotional, psychological, and financial consequences, and often resulting in long-lasting trauma for survivors and their loved ones, and whereas the Crystal Judson Family Justice Center, named in memory of Crystal Judson, who tragically lost her life to domestic violence, serves as a beacon of hope for victims and survivors by providing a comprehensive, easily navigable service model that integrates support from government and community organizations. And whereas the Crystal Judson Family Justice Center and its partners, including Rebuilding Hope, Tacoma Pro Bono, City of Tacoma Neighborhood and Community Services, Family Support Division, Department of Social and Health Services, JBLM Family Advocacy Program, Multicare Mental Health Programs for Children and Families, Kindred Souls, Korean Women's Association, Our Sister's House, and many others work tirelessly to offer critical assistance and advocacy for survivors. And whereas Pierce County has many organizations that support and are resources to victims of domestic violence, including but not limited to Associated Ministries, YWCA, Family Renewal Shelter, Tacoma Community House, Greater Lakes Mental Health, and Salvation Army. And whereas the Crystal Judson Family Justice Center year after year has provided no-cost services, including victim advocacy, safety planning, electronic filing for temporary protection orders, criminal and civil legal services, housing, emergency assistance, and chaplaincy services to victims, supporting survivors, providing real-time support calls to the domestic violence helpline, and providing proactive outreach to victims. And whereas April is nationally recognized as both Sexual Assault Awareness Month and Child Abuse Prevention Month, and the tireless work of the Crystal Judson Family Justice Center and its partners to marshal resources and provide critical services to the victims of these heinous crimes is an immeasurable benefit to our community. And whereas as we work to honor Crystal's memory daily, we take this day in April to recommit ourselves to providing quality service to our community and recognizing that stopping domestic violence is everyone's responsibility, and community members needing support can reach the 24-hour domestic violence hotline at 800-799-7233. Now therefore, be it proclaimed on this 22nd day of April 2025 by the Pierce County Council and Executive that Saturday, April 26th, 2025 is hereby designated as Domestic Violence Awareness Day in Pierce County. We encourage all community members to dedicate themselves to domestic violence prevention and join in this observance.
Let's give them a hand. Ms. Roberts.
Thank you. Craig Roberts, Director of the Crystal Judson Family Justice Center. Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the council. I'd first of all like to recognize two of our council members that are actually the chair and a council member who are on the board of the Family Justice Center. And that's a board that really, really backs us up and helps us in succeeding our mission and what we do. We come here every year just to accept this proclamation, keep it in the forefront, and to be able to thank you all for your support. I mean, it takes a lot to keep this thing going, and believe it or not, we are in our 20th year, so we'll celebrate our 20th anniversary later this year. So I'd also like to recognize a couple of our partner agencies. With us today are two fine people from Tacoma Pro Bono who do a lot for our clients, and the civil legal representation is a tough one to get around here or anywhere really. But also our sister's
Robert,
house.
we're going to pause your comments because we want to make sure people can hear you. We're being told that we're having some audio issues, and it's not PCTV, it's Zoom. So I'm clarifying what is happening. We love technology. We love technology. We love technology. But
Madam Chair, if I may.
yes.
So audio is working. One of the members that is joining us via Zoom is connecting through the council chambers, and so it's impacting our ability to transmit. But if they stay unmuted, we can have sound.
How are they?
I don't
Never
know.
mind.
I don't know.
Okay, so we're good to move forward. Okay. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure people could see it. So I honestly am not sure exactly where you left off, but it was, so I was
I'm
trying to
not
figure
either,
out.
but we'll fake it.
So-
We're talking about our
Partners,
great
I think is
partners.
yes.
And another one is Rebuilding Hope, which is the Sexual Assault Center in Pierce County. And finally, our sister's house, who actually has a couple of their advocates on site with us. So with that, thank you for recognizing Crystal. Thank you for recognizing April 26th as Domestic Violence Awareness Day. And, we like to think that every day we honor Crystal, but I also want to honor our staff, the ones that really do the dirty work. It's sometimes not fun, but they make it fun amongst themselves. So again, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for pausing for a second while we established what was going on. Would any of the other guests like to say anything, Nadia, or to come?
Say, we can't do this work in a silo, and so just really leaning into the wonderful partnerships that we have throughout the community, because we can't do it alone. And so again, just to echo for the partners that are able to be here and that aren't, and thank you all for your support in what we do to create a safer community.
Thank you. With appreciation. I'm going to look to my colleagues to see if anyone has additional comments or if anyone online has comments, so I'm a little worried about that. Oh, lights. We'll go to Vice Chair Herrera.
Thank you, Chair. And 20 years, wow. I'm sure maybe it's pretty amazing that you're still here after 20 years. And you already touched on it, and it's through the partnerships. Taking that tragedy and making it into something that goes leaps and bounds for victims. And we appreciate the work that you do, continue to do, and for you to be here another 20 years. So thank you. Thank you, Vice Chair.
Thank you. Councilmember Ayala.
Thank you, Chair. I want to share a lot of gratitude for this team in particular. It was one of the first tours I did when I first started as a council member, and it was not somewhat thorough. It was quite impressive, everything that you all do. Everything from, folks who are unsure whether or not they should be there. And I think creating those safe spaces for that ambiguity is so incredibly important. And having just a touch point with and spaces for those that are working with lawyers or through plans and safety plans. So thank you for all of that. That being said, we also have a responsibility to ensure that we do all we possibly can so those services are not needed in the future. The goal is that this is not something that we encounter as a society, and I hope that in service to everyone that has experienced this, that we also ensure that we're doing the work on the other side, so more folks are not falling victim to any of this. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you for the comments. Councilmember Yambe.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I want to echo Councilmember Ayala's comments. The team at Crystal Judson Family Justice Center, after that tour, are some of the most extraordinary people that we have working for the county. We have a lot of great, extraordinary people working for this county. And you all and the support around and the organizations in support were extremely impressive of the dedication and the just determination of your staff. And these are things that we may never ever get to zero, but hopefully that we make them as extremely rare as we hope other things are. And it doesn't make it any worth less pursuing, because everyone on this dais, everyone around us has been touched by domestic violence, whether they know it or not. And it is greatly appreciated. And like Councilmember Ayala said, it's important that we recommit ourselves to making sure that we have the resources and the tools necessary to make sure that we reduce this and keep the awareness up, because this should not ever be normal. And so appreciate the work that all of the organizations do, appreciate all the council support on this, because I think that this touches every corner of the county and region and beyond. So appreciate this acknowledgement and the opportunity to read this from my colleagues, so I appreciate it.
Thank you, Councilmember Yambe. Councilmember Krueger.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I can't believe it's been 20 years. It's one of those moments, it's like, where were you when JFK was shot? Where were you on 9/11? Where were you when Crystal Judson perished? And because it was that monumental of an event. And I just want to praise you and say thank you that you have the courage to maintain this all those years and have to confront such evil and bad things that are happening to good people, and that you can be there to help them. It's just something that is very important that we have that available for the folks. And I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Thank you to my colleagues for taking some time to pause and reflect on the amazing work of the Crystal Judson Family Justice Center, and the many different partner organizations that show up, including our prosecuting attorneys, our Sheriff's Department, Tacoma PD, and then our advocates that do the work here in the courthouse. That all takes a little coordination kind of to make the team work, make the dream work, so that we really can meet clients where they are, no matter how they enter our system and no matter what they're dealing with. We try and make some sort of positive interaction so they can start making steps towards safety. And it takes a lot of bravery, and it takes a lot of energy, and it takes caring people on the other end when you finally say, today's the day I need help. So thank you so much for that work you do every day, and the very creative way you have to sometimes navigate our complex system and the size of our county and the various needs. So thank you. We are going to invite you to come up and take a photo. And so we are going to have you come up on the dais.
Okay. Okay. Yes, when they're pretty. Perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are we doing?
All right, you guys look great.
All right.
Look at a few pictures here. Just hang tight. Last one.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Greg.
Thank you.
I'm sure I'll talk to you on See you Friday. Nadia, are you going to see? Okay, so that brings us to section 8, which is resolutions. We now have before us proposal R 2025-129. Would the vice chair give a motion?
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to approve proposal number R2025-129 for approval.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve resolution 2025-129. If the clerk could please read it into the record.
Proposal number R 2025-129, a resolution of the Pierce County Council initiating an evaluation of 96th Street East from State Route 162 to the Puyallup River Bridge for the potential reduction of the speed limit and implementation of traffic calming measures, requesting recommendations regarding the same from the county engineer and setting report backdates.
Thank you. And we're going to go to Mr. Swanson to introduce.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Chair Hitchen, members of the council. The proposed resolution would initiate a traffic safety and school zone evaluation on 96th Street East in the Alderton-McMillan community. The evaluation of 96th Street East would be from State Route 162 to the Puyallup River Bridge on 96th Street East there. The evaluation would include traffic calming considerations and the creation of a school zone near the Cascade Christian School, McAlder campus. There are maps on page 53 and 54 of your packet. There's a map and then an aerial that shows you the location and gives you kind of a feel for the density in that area. The resolution would direct the county engineer to provide the speed reduction, traffic calming, and school zone recommendations to the council no later than July 31st of this year, and then recommendations related to signage and lighting no later than February 1st of next year. The reason for the two dates, the differential there, because of the nature of this area, the recommendations related to a school zone, we want to make sure came back to council in time for the beginning of next school year so that action could be taken during the summer. And then this is a heavy agritourism area, especially a growing presence of agritourism over the last 5 years. So we want to put the later date for February 1st related to the signage and the lighting and that to make sure that those activities were included in the analysis done by traffic engineering. Both an equity and a fiscal analysis have been completed and are included in your packets. A public hearing was held at Economic and Infrastructure Development on this proposal on April 8th. The proposal was forwarded to council with a due pass recommendation. With that, Madam Chair, we have staff available to answer any council member questions.
Thank you very much. We will look to my colleagues to see if we have questions. Vice Chair Herrera.
Thank you, Chair. I just had a quick question on, so I guess what is bringing this all about? Is there something new? How come we haven't done it earlier? Why?
This was brought to the council by a group of constituents or constituents connected with Cascade Christian School, brought this issue to Councilmember Morrell, contacting the District 1 office. And then from that, it was relayed to staff, and we began looking at what options there would be. And the determination was made by the member to initiate this resolution to get a more formal look from traffic engineering.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you for the question. Any other questions? Councilmember Ayala.
Thank you, Chair. Tom, I'm sorry if I missed this. Where can we find the fiscal note on it?
I should have written down the page number in your package. There's nowhere de minimis fiscal impact, as the cost of doing these evaluations is already baked into the budget of traffic engineering every year, and there is no request from the department for expanded capacity to get this completed. Now, there may be, if there were a project or something, a road improvement project that's spurred out of that, then it would go through the whole TIP project process of having a project added. But just for the evaluation at this point, there's nowhere de minimis fiscal impact.
Got it. And then follow-up question, if something does come out of this, the stakeholder engagement process would look like what exactly?
So that would vary, council member, based on if it's something as simple as putting up speed reduction signs or the know your speed flashing signs or something like that, or lighting or something smaller scale. There'd be a more minimal notification process in that. If it were something that did evolve into a full TIP project or something that needed to be done, which is not what I believe we're anticipating here, that's a much longer public process and much more notification. But as far as implementing the school zone, there isn't a specific, the school zone side of it, obviously the school is involved in that, but beyond that, there isn't a specific notification requirement for those items that we're anticipating may come out of this.
Got it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the questions. I think I'm not a member of the committee, but did review, but just something I was curious about is my assumption is that we'll be able to do the traffic study around the school zone before school gets out this calendar year.
That is a big part of the timing of getting it through, Madam Chair, and that is specifically related to the July 31st report back date. That is getting that data gathered before the end of the school year, traffic engineering putting that part of the report together and getting it back to us so that legislative action and any implementation could be done before the next school year.
Okay, and then the follow-up is agritourism seems to happen more often on weekends, and so I'm wondering, is there an intent to do any type of assessment of when some of that ebb and flow of agritourism, which is maybe on a different calendar than the school?
We specifically talked to traffic engineering about the month and kind of week period. We didn't specifically talk about days of the week, but I can make a note of that. In the area, Christmas trees and pumpkin patches are two of the leading ones, so obviously October, November, into December. But we didn't specifically talk about days of the week, but I can pass that note along to traffic engineering.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Are there any other questions on this particular item? I'm not seeing any, so I am going to open this up to a public hearing if anyone. There are no members of the public in chambers, so I'm going to go online. If you would like to provide comment on Resolution 2025-129, I'll turn this over to Mr. Dominique to say his speech.
For any member of the public that would like to provide comment on proposal number R 2025-129, please press the raise hand icon in Zoom or *9 on your telephone keypad. No hands at this time, ma'am.
Seeing no hands raised, we'll bring this back before the full council. Is there any further comments on Resolution 2025-129? Seeing none, the motion before us is to adopt R 2025-129. Can the clerk please read?
Councilmember Denson?
I heard her.
You heard aye? Okay. Councilmember Herrera?
Aye.
Councilmember Yambe?
Aye.
Councilmember Ayala?
Aye.
Councilmember Krueger?
Aye.
Councilmember Morel?
Aye.
Councilmember Hitchin?
Aye.
You have 7 ayes, 0 nays.
7 ayes and 0 nays. The motion is adopted. Thank you. That brings us to proposal R 2025-138. Councilmember Yambe for a motion.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that we pass proposal number R 2025-138. A resolution of the Pierce County Council setting the date of an evening. Oops, sorry.
You're doing the clerk's job, but well done.
You know, I'm just feeling loopy.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded, both sides of me. We had seconds that we adopt R 2025-138. Can the clerk please read?
Proposal number R 2025-138, a resolution of the Pierce County Council setting the date of an evening District Number 5 council meeting from Monday, June 30th, 2025 at 6:00 p.m. at Franklin Pierce Performing Arts Center, 11002 18th Avenue East, Tacoma, Washington.
Thank you. Mr. Cox to brief.
Yes, Chair Hitchen, members of the council, Jeff Cox, council staff.
Mic
As
over.
you know, Section 2.30
Tom,
of the
can you move
county
the mic
charter
over?
provides that the council shall conduct at least one evening meeting each year in each council district. And Section 1.28040 of the county code provides specific time, place, and dates of these evening district meetings shall be set by adoption of a resolution of the council. This is that resolution, and it states that the year 2025 evening district Number 5 meeting will be held at 6 p.m. on Monday, June 30th, 2025 at Franklin Pierce Performing Arts Center, 11002 18th Avenue East, Tacoma. The usual streaming processes are going to be available, and the June 30th, 2025 evening district meeting will be held in addition to the regular 3 o'clock Tuesday, July 1, 2025 meeting, and the clerk is asked to make sure that she notes those times, the change in time and place in matters to come before the council, and notice appropriately. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Cox. Are there any questions on this resolution? Councilmember Yambe, I know it's a little further out. Are there any plans that you have for this particular? I'm excited to see the new Performing Arts Center, if nothing else.
Madam Chair, we are in the works, and hopefully it will be a crowd pleaser, so we're working on it.
You have several months, so you're good. Okay. Any questions on this resolution? Seeing none, I'm going to open this up for a public hearing at this time and would like to invite members of the public. We have no one in chambers to speak to this. I'm looking, there we go, on R 2025-138. So if anyone in Zoom online would like to, please raise your hand or press *9 on your telephone keypad. And I thought I saw a hand go up, but then it went back down. Would anyone like to address the council on R 2025-138? I'm not seeing any, so I'm going to close the public hearing on this and bring it back before the council. And not seeing any. Ms. Call, can you please call the roll?
Councilmember Ayala?
Aye.
Councilmember Yambe?
Aye.
Councilmember Herrera?
Aye.
Councilmember Morrell?
We appear to have lost him.
Councilmember Krueger?
Aye.
Councilmember Denson? Aye. Councilmember Hitchen?
Aye.
You have 6 ayes, 0 nays.
With 6 ayes and 0 nays, the motion is adopted. Brings us to ordinances. We have before us today Proposal O 2025-508. Vice Chair Herrera for a motion.
Chair, I move proposal number 2025-508 for approval.
Second.
There has been a motion and a second to adopt ordinance 2025-508. Can the clerk please read?
Proposal number O 2025-508, an ordinance of the Pierce County Council amending Pierce County Code Title I, General Provisions, Title II, Administration, Title VIII, Health and Welfare, Chapter 13.04, Sewer Administrative Regulations, and Chapter 17C.10, Administrative Provisions for the Construction Codes, to provide needed clarifications and updates to non-development regulations.
Thank you. And we're going to turn this over to Mr. Swanson to brief.
Thank you, Chair Hitchen. Yes, the proposal number O 2025-508. This proposal would implement amendments to Titles 1, 2, 8, 13 and 17C of the Pierce County Code. The proposed code amendments are considered technical in nature, meaning they are non-regulatory changes. They would correct errors, oversights, and citations, or they'd provide clarification to some ambiguity that has been determined to currently exist in the code. Within the council staff report on the second page, there's a quick reference table that just gives a very quick what each code change in each of the exhibits is. Also in your packet, there's both an equity and fiscal analysis. This proposal also has no or de minimis fiscal impact. A public hearing was conducted in Economic and Infrastructure Development on April 8th. And this proposal was forwarded by the committee with a due pass recommendation. With that, Madam Chair, we do have both staff from Planning and Public Works and from the council available to answer any questions.
Thank you. Is it Layla? Is that how you say it? Do you have anything you want to add? Or my notes say that maybe you had a presentation, so I don't know if that's actually the truth.
We did receive the presentation in committee,
Okay.
but we did not plan it for council
Okay,
here.
just checking, since, just making sure. Are there questions for council staff or county staff? I'm not seeing any, so do you have anything you'd like to add before we, you don't have to, I just want to make sure. Okay. Okay, so seeing that, then we're going to open this up for a public hearing. At this time, I'd like to invite members of the public to provide comment on O 2025-508. We have no members of the public in chambers, so we will go directly online. Mr. Dominique.
For any member of the public that would like to provide comment on proposal number O 2025-508, please press the raise hand icon in Zoom or *9 on your telephone keypad. There was a hand, but it's disappeared. There are no hands at this time, Chair.
No hands. We will close public comment on this particular ordinance and bring it back before the full council. Is there any further comments? Well, I will just say thank you to our Planning and Public Works staff that went through and found just clean up things that were conflicting, language that had changed in one section and didn't change in another, and just makes it easier and more transparent when people are trying to access our rather lengthy code. This is a very helpful and needed thing, and we've been doing a lot of work in this area, so this is just one more way that we're just trying to make things smooth for our county community members when they're accessing services. I'm going to ask that the clerk call the roll on adoption of O 2025-508.
Councilmember Krueger.
Aye.
Councilmember Ayala.
Aye.
Councilmember Yambe.
Aye.
Councilmember Denson.
Councilmember Denson, are you with us? We'll excuse her. Okay.
Councilmember Herrera.
Aye.
And Councilmember Hitchin.
Aye.
You have 5 ayes and 0 nays.
With 5 ayes and 0 nays, the motion is adopted. Thank you, everybody. That brings us to community forum. This is a time for the community to address the council on any topic that was not on today's Pierce County Council agenda. It could be anything related to Pierce County government, and there is a 3-minute limit. Please state your name if you'd like it on the record and address all comments to the chair. I will start with those in chambers, but there are none in chambers, so we will go directly on to Zoom.
For any member of the public that would like to participate in community forum, please press the raise hand icon in Zoom or *9 on your telephone keypad. We have one hand, phone number ending in 075. Please state your name for the record, and you have 3 minutes.
Hi, this is Roxy Giddings. I was cut off early on and didn't get put back on very soon. I didn't come in until about 10 after, and so then I was just, it was as if somebody flipped the switch, but I couldn't hear anything, and I didn't get the dial tone, so I finally hung up and redid the whole thing and got back on. And then right now, at the end of this last proposal, I missed the last part of it except for the last two people that were, when she was calling the roll. And that was all I heard about the ordinance, except that it passed. But that's all I got. And I came in late, and I was wondering if there was something that had to do with the Parkland Community Association's work being done with the Parkland School. I was told to be online, and listen to this particular council meeting because there was going to be something brought up about that, and I didn't hear any of it. And so I wonder if I missed it in the first 10 minutes. So that's what's going on here. So thanks. That's all I was wondering about.
I'm not seeing any more hands, Chair.
Seeing no other hands, we will close community forum. Ms. Giddings, we had a technical issue with audio. The recording should have the full meeting available either through PCTV or through our streaming on YouTube. Happy to connect and make sure that you get the full recording. As to the Parkland School, I was not aware of anything in this council agenda nor our next council agenda. Feel free to contact my office. I know you know how to do that. So thank you for that. I'm going to look to my colleagues to see if there's any other business or announcements from any of you. Seeing none, thank you, everybody. We are adjourned.